I'm Eddie with California Educators Together, and I'm here at High Tech High in beautiful San Diego, California. Today we're going to be watching a lesson with Elise Jenkins, who was one of the phenomenal teachers who came out of our High Tech High Partnership Institute this past January. She's going to be doing a phenomenal lesson on redlining, and I'm really excited to see what the learning is going to be all about. So let's go check this out.
We opened with a real quick kind of collaborative share out, like what did we learn yesterday? What are those important terms that we should be thinking about and remembering and applying to our learning today? We cannot learn about the long-term lasting impacts of a policy like redlining from the 1930s without first understanding what that policy even is. I just want you to spend some time refreshing what did we learn yesterday and what are three big things from yesterday's learning that we should together kind of like review.
Spatial filing, which is basically identifying which areas are red, which ones are yellow.
Higher quality schools in certain neighborhoods and lower quality schools in other neighborhoods because of that feedback loop. The property value increases the school's funding, and the school's funding increases the property value.
And then that went into, we essentially rolled out mapping inequality.
When we looked at the different descriptions for the different red lines and different colored areas, there was definitely a big prominence in the word usage. It was constant repetition of identifying race, and then along with that came the redlining. And it just was really eye-opening.
We were talking mostly about how the colors coordinated with one another, and how each race kind of had its own red line color.
I asked for students to stay specifically focused on San Diego and to navigate the website, kind of clicking on districts and communities with very careful attention paid to the HOLC descriptions. And we were looking for trends in criteria in order to determine, according to the HOLC, what made a community a red community versus a green community, and looking at problematic language in those HOLC descriptions. This is the actual red line map for San Diego from the 1930s. So as you're reading through, I want you to be looking for language that jumps out at you. I want you to ask yourself, what are the criteria that's going into this rating?
So just looking around, I think I found the most redlined city.
What did this look like on a grander scale? And so that's where the gallery walk came in, where we had side-by-side maps where they were practicing analysis. What is this map even telling me, first of all? And second of all, what does this have to do with what we've been learning this last couple of days?
I really enjoyed the gallery walk because it's besides San Diego, it's very interesting to see the correlation between people who live here now, or in more modern setting compared to what that area was labeled back in the 1930s.
So remember, there's only one racial demographic map, and there's three different red line districts, or areas or regions.
It's important because if we don't have knowledge of everything that happened in the past and that's happening in the present, then we're going to be less socially aware.
The more and more that the lesson progressed, it was just so sad learning that that's what the red meant. The red meant the taxes and how the houses weren't as highly priced, and how the neighborhoods were more trashed and the schools didn't have much funding.
What I really love about Miss Elise's way of teaching is how she really breaks it down to the fundamentals of the lesson, what each thing means, making sure that everybody understands.
She likes for us all to work together and be collaborative so that we can learn more. And I really like that. I feel like it helps me learn.